Hello, Keeping It Real listeners. I hope you're all doing well and enjoying the weather wherever you are. My name is Kim Rittberg, and I'm excited to talk to you about how to be seen as a thought leader in your industry. We often talk about being seen as the mayor of your town, but I want to go big. I want you to be seen as the governor of your state. Um, so my background is in journalism and marketing. I worked in media, Netflix, Us Weekly, Fox, People Magazine for nearly 20 years. And now I coach real estate agents to clarify their message, to show up on camera with confidence, and to make money through videos. What does that mean? That means really bringing in leads and clients through social media, not just listed, just sold, not just doing the bare minimum of content, but really bringing your personality with a structure, a strategy, and a message so that people are excited to hear from you. They're going to reach out to you to buy and sell their home. So what does that look like? So a lot of times, we use videos to actually get business, right? We're really trying to get transactions. What I want to focus on today is when you're looking to take the next step, you want to be seen as a thought leader. Maybe you want to start leading seminars. Maybe you want to be on panels. Maybe you want to be giving keynotes. So I'm a TEDx speaker. I'm a keynote speaker around the country. But a few years ago, I was not. Right? We all come from somewhere, and now we've shifted into a new area. And so a lot of the agents that I coach, when they're at a certain place in their career, they're like, I am ready for that next opportunity, right? I want to be seen more. I want to be seen as the expert. I want people to go to me as their agent, yes, but also be seen in a larger field as the expert in real estate. So what does that look like? What do you need to do to position yourself for speaking opportunities? Maybe to get featured in the press, to be featured on panels, seminars, all of that. So first of all, when you're thinking about these things, the very first thing you should be thinking about is how are you going to position yourself as the expert? Everyone has a niche, and it doesn't have to be so super narrow, but I do want you to think about, don't just say I sell to everyone. Everyone has something. It could be an area, it could be a demographic, it could be a transitional life stage, right? Some of my agents help seniors, some of my agents do luxury, some do rentals. Whatever it is, be a little more specific, especially when you're trying to be seen as the expert. Being more specific will help people understand where to slot you in. So, some of my knowledge, as I mentioned before, I was a journalist. So, I was the person on TV receiving hundreds of pitches of people who wanted to be on TV. So, they would want me to put them on camera as the real estate agent to talk about the housing market or about a new development or whatever, and I would be receiving the pitch. So I would be the person judging. Well, I hate that word, but judging whether or not to put you on camera. So I know what journalists look for. I know what people are looking for. If you want to be a guest on podcasts, I should have mentioned that earlier. If you want to be a guest on podcasts. So as you're thinking about pitching yourself, first of all, position yourself as the expert. Yes, you're looking for sales. That is the most important thing, of course. But as you start expanding your network, really start thinking about what area of expertise can I bring, right? What are the top three things I might talk about? Now, after that, start putting out content related to that. It's like that old phrase, dress for the job you want. You have to be seen talking about the things you want to be talking about to become a speaker. It's like, well, how can I become a speaker if I'm not already a speaker? Start speaking about that. I remember my very first keynote several years ago. I had pitched myself. It was in some networking group. An opportunity popped up to do a speech in Florida. And I was like, I can do this speech. But I didn't have any footage, right? I'd done some seminars. I had guest lectured at, a university class. I had done some professional seminars, but I didn't have any like really professional footage of me on a stage. What I did was I set up my phone and I spoke to the camera, as if I'm sort of giving my speech. And I said part of what I would be saying as a part of that speech. So start making content for social media, be a guest on podcasts, and start talking about that topic you want to talk about more. And similarly, as you start having these opportunities, you will see opportunities come in. I've gotten many other keynote opportunities from being a guest on podcasts. I always ask, how did you hear of me? So remember, these will bring in additional opportunities. So number one, you're going to position yourself as an expert. You're going to figure out your niche. Number two, you're going to start putting out content to show people what you talk about. And then start thinking about a multi-prong approach, right? Your content that you're putting out. Let's say you're talking about seniors downsizing. You're going to put out content about that. Then you're going to start really letting people know that that's a thing you talk about, right? And the third part is start building your own opportunities. So you don't necessarily have to like wait for someone to ask you, especially when you're starting out. Build a seminar around a topic. Have it be you and two other people that you work with on transactions, or maybe it's two people that you've been wanting to meet and you haven't met and you think that they would be, a good panel. Create the event yourself. And super, super important is get content of that, right? So if you're speaking, so one of my amazing agents, Debbie DiMaggio, shout out to her in California. She leads a lot of seminars. She writes for Piedmont. I'm going to say it the wrong thing, but Piedmont Luxury or Piedmont Living magazine. And she had a seminar and we talked about what should we be filming, right? You want to really be making sure you're capturing photos of the seminar and videos that you can be using later. So people see, oh, look, she's doing the seminar. Oh, maybe I could bring her in for my seminar. Oh, my friend in the next town over, they could use that. So again, be building yourself up visually. And it's that show, don't tell. And now the next part is prep yourself. Oof. This is like the biggest thing. Do not wing it. Do not wing it. Do not wing it. If you're going to a seminar or a panel, don't just say, well, I'm just answering questions. No. You should go in there prepared with what questions you would ideally like to be asked. You should be practicing your answers in your home. And I know I probably sound like super uptight and like, oh my God, Kim is like really, really type A. No, yes, but no. It is really important that when you get those opportunities, you make the most of them. You never know who's watching. You have to take every opportunity seriously. And for every time you're a guest on someone's podcast, you're a guest on a panel, you're a guest on a seminar, you're a guest eventually speaking on a stage, you really want to show up and crush it, knock their socks off. That's how you get additional opportunities. That's how I went from being a person who literally thought I was going to have an accident before I went on stage like 3 years ago. And now I've done two TEDx talks. I'm a paid keynote speaker around the country. But you have to take every single opportunity seriously. And you never know who's there. It doesn't matter if it's 2 people or 20 people or 500 people. So that's the number one. So 1, we're going to position ourselves as the expert, figure out what you talk about. 2, you're going to put out content, right? You're going to show people that you are a speaker. 3, start building your own opportunities. And 4, always prepare. And about preparation, by the way, Instagram lives, any LinkedIn lives, anything like that, always prepare it in advance. I had an agent in New York I worked with, and we were preparing him for a LinkedIn live. Like we set a question and answer thing. We made sure that the guest felt ready and knew how to call in. Like you always want to make sure it's looking really professional and feels really good so that everybody who shows up, feels good, they're doing it, but the people watching are like, oh, good, this isn't 2 people just yapping. It's a really robust, well-structured conversation. You'll notice it on this show, right? DJ always shows up. He's always done his homework. It's always like really well organized. It's not just a conversation. He's planned it out in advance. He's thinking about that. So, all right. So for those of you who are interested in, growing yourself and becoming more of a thought leader, I'd love to connect with you and brainstorm with you. You can find me on Instagram at Kim Rittberg, Rittberg. LinkedIn also. I have a lot of things on YouTube now. I'm doing a YouTube, Kim Rittberg content. And I have a free download. So just message me. I'll send you that. It's kimrittberg.com/re-tips. And it's 5 videos you need to make to sell more homes. And I'd love to connect. I love the listeners of Keeping It Real. I've met so many amazing people here. I hope you're having a great day, and I'll talk to you soon.